Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. We have been studying the Quranic verses which are related to how we should really understand the concept of God. And now we started last week studying the famous word as Ayatul Kursi, the verse of the throne. Alaykum salam. So we studied up to this part of the same word, but this verse is, although one verse, as if it includes 10 verses in it. Short form of 10 verses. Each of them is a phrase which has its own consistent meaning, but they all help to understand and build up how we should understand God. So here, the previous verse said, maybe we can really quickly go here. La ilaha illahu, God is He, except whom there is no deity. Of course, this is the principle of the Qur'an, to go through negation in order to describe something is not describable. So it is not this, it is not this, it is not this. Because when we say it is not this, referring to the word, so that we are warned not to liken him anything of this word. That when we say God is not this, we are not describing God. We are describing God through what we experience in this world. That is the fundamental approach of the Quran, how we can have the concept of God while we are living in this world, who cannot be described in terms of this world, because this world is His work. But since it is His work, we can look at it and see in its existence the qualities of its maker. So what we see here, nothing but manifested, reflected qualities of its maker, its creator, its artist, if you like, because the universe is really, really an art. So at this stage, that is why God describes himself to us who are living in this world. Why I'm emphasizing on this? Because there was a somehow professor in, it is interesting, this kind of professor of the tafsir, commentary on the Quran. He said, how can you say that God is not that, God is not that? Is it a description? It's so simplistic. It's a very simplistic. I don't know how he became a professor. It's ridiculous to think in this way. Of course, he is just, the Quran is teaching to me who lives in this world. So he has to speak to me in terms of this world and reminds me, for example, me as Ali, don't liken me to any part of what I created. Although they reflect my qualities, but I'm not like them. It is as easy as to understand for a child to understand that if you give him a toy, can you say, who is the maker of the toy? Who made the toy? He doesn't say, he is like this ant, or the food, or this part, that part. He says, my mom made it. Refers to something which is nothing to the nature of the toy itself. It is so simple. For even a 3 years old child, this man claims to be the professor, but I was shocked to hear from him. It means really we have to know how to read the Quran, first of all, the principles of reading the Quran, which we studied in the series from the beginning of this series, the road to God. series. So here, the fundamental and the principle of introducing God, he says there is no deity except him, because God is the one who is not likened, or let's make a word, likenable, that's a made-up word, to him. Exactly, the toy and mother made the toy. And the child says, well, mother made it. He doesn't say, the maker is like one part of it, one part of the toy. Even the child can understand this, but unfortunately, that is academic study. All right, I'm not saying everybody is like this, but this exceptional person, I was shocked and I was sorry for him. He wasted his time, maybe in order to become a professor, but definitely he has been studying for 20 years. It means without methodology, whatever you learn is not worth. Especially nowadays, information is not cheap. There is no price for it. Ask AI, tells you everything. Here we go. Okay? El-Hayyu El-Qayyum, the ever-living, the self-subsistent, by whom all subsists. Comes into existence and keeps its existence by whom? By he. Otherwise, we cannot keep our existence by ourselves. For example, we keep changing and we cannot stop our changing. Okay. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on earth. So, of course, even let's take because it is so, the Quranic description of God, which is absolute being, is as simple as a 3-year-old child can understand. Now, let's take the toy example. If you say, is your mother is the maker of this? He said, yeah. No, for example, how about his feet? We are speaking to a child. He will say, my mother made it. How about his legs? My mother made it. How about his head? My mother. You see, the color, the design, the symmetry, the beautiful harmony. My mother is a very artful mother. She can do everything in the best way, you see. So all the properties we see in the toy belongs to the qualities, and their existence belongs to its maker. Of course, the mother is not the creator, but in order to make it into a form, she is the agent. Is an example. We cannot give another example within the universe. That is why we understand to him belongs whatever is in the heavens, in our example, in the toy, and whatever is on earth, it means the clothing or the parts of the toy belongs to the maker mother. That is the example. You can use it and apply it to the universe. So we covered this last week. No details. The very fundamental part of the subject is this. What is that? It is a question mark. It's a questioning, but it's a challenging questioning. Challenging. Who is there that could intercede with him unless it be by his leave? Permission, his will. Now, what does it mean? We find in the classical commentaries, very Islamic classical commentaries, according to the capacity of the culture of their time, civilization of their time, understanding level of their time. They say Shafa'a, it is very famous word in Arabic. Shafa'a, it means intercession, belongs to the prophets. And some people say, some of these noble Muslim scholars and devout people in the culture, it is right, it is wrong. We have to be clear about it. What do I mean by right and wrong? If you take them themselves, that they are the one who guides you, it is wrong. But what makes them special? Let's take the best example, the prophet. What makes them special? What makes, I will be a free thinker here. I mean, we are just doing an analysis. Muhammad, not Muhammad is a man, but Muhammad is the messenger of God. That is why it is respected. That is why people thought, some of them, innocent, ordinary people may make a mistake. We have to understand them rather than accusing them. They don't really reason, but their heart is pure. They don't really mean that Muhammad is the one acts on its own independent being. No, none of the Muslims can claim that. Oh, they don't. But they don't know how to express themselves. We will excuse them. But as people like yourself, we have to be careful while we are using this expression, intercession of the prophets. Excuse me. If you take Muhammad because of his virtue, what is that? Prophethood, message receiver and distributor. Then if you follow this virtue, you can benefit. So you can get in connection with God. In connection with God. This is it clear? Clear. So we have to make the distinction whether Muhammad has an independent agent to intercede between God, between you and God. Why? This is a good guy, God. You don't know, but I know him. Please pass him to paradise. It is ridiculous, isn't it? Himself. He's a created being like you and me. Because of the information he received, message he received from God, that is why he is valuable in the eye of everyone. But to make the case clear, I have to say in Christianity, Jesus itself, but Christian theology, not the Christian people, they don't know really, but they just go to the church like the Muslims go to the mosque and they hear something and then they say, this is our religion. But theology itself, I'm not speaking about the community, I'm not speaking about people, even the preachers or mentors, they are doing good things. We shouldn't really say they are bad, we are good, or that's ridiculous with this competition. So, but we have to be careful that the doctrine itself, the Trinity doctrine itself, puts Jesus as a source of the miracles he demonstrated. What does it mean? He made it. This says no. Who is there that could intercede with him unless it is by his will? So as the Quran says, his miracles are created by me. So it appeared in his hand. So you understand that creating the miracles for someone is with my leave. It means according to my will. If I will, I create. If I don't, Jesus, Muhammad, no one, no creature, even galaxies cannot do anything, obey the order of the universe. They are all followers of the universe. Got it? So Shafa, in this sense, up to now, what we are doing, we are studying this verse as it has been heavily studied, argued. Lots of debates went on in the commentary on the Quran books. This is related to that subject, not today's subject. We will come to the 21st century, inshallah. So we have to understand, speaking about the saints, prophets as being the intercessors, maybe if you go to an imam and say that, please, imam or priest in the church, or a rabbi in a synagogue, say that, please, I did this and this and this mistake. It's confession, famous event going on. Please, I confess it, and priest says, okay, you are forgiven. No, it is up to God. And also, in the saints, in Muslim tradition, it's the same. It's the same. It is up to God. But I can only show you the way how you repent, how you really ask for forgiveness from your Creator. If you follow my teaching, you can be successful. But not me, my teaching. Why? Because this teaching is from God. So following God's teaching saves you. How does he? If you apply it sincerely. Because this is for guidance, isn't it? This is for taking human beings to rushd. It means really perfect success. Then you can get it. Guidance itself is an intercession because he is direct act of the Creator. It is, the guidance itself is direct act of the Creator. He is giving the guidance, not the prophet is giving the guidance. He is. When you read the Quran, do you read prophetic information, prophet's information, or do you read God's information given or message given to the prophet? So we have to understand in this context, in this historical context, I will cover it very shortly, that intercession of anything, if it is directly from God, okay. Otherwise, without the leave of God, no one can be an intercessor between you and me. For example, you are, the very famous intercession is going on. You want to have something from the state authorities. What the state authority has some sort of political agenda, and somebody is politically influential, interferes that, give this project to this company, because that is from our side, our supporters of our party. And, okay, then I said, I will accept it. This intercession, although not qualified, that is important. Although this company or this person is not qualified enough, because of the intercession, it became qualified. Is it right? It is just? No, it is not justice. So God says, no. Only I will give the permission. I will give the leave. No, nobody else. I think it makes the case clear. Intercession is, in this sense, we understand that I am not really qualified. Anything? Any concern, don't bother. Speak, because we are here. Not only one person speaks. Interaction is preferred. I prefer anybody who wants to share his idea, questions. Yes, go ahead.
Question. So I know, no one can intercede, but when you ask people to make dua for you, say my grandma's sick, and I'm like, can everyone please make dua for her, pray for her? What is it that?
Yeah.
I think more voices matter more, or what is the reason for that?
Now, asking for prayers, even the Prophet and the Quran advises, ask or do some prayer for the messenger Muhammad. In the Quran says, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, the prophet. So they pray, they praise, and they present their peace. And also, one of the salawat is peace. Salam.
Can you repeat that phrase in English?
In English, God and his angels praise messenger and presents their peace. It means there is peace between you and me. Though, and then Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. The all believers, you do the same. Pray for him. Now, while we are asking some other people for prayers, we have to understand that not because their prayer is definitely interceding, but asking God, asking for his leave, permission. I am pleased with, yeah, I know her name, so, or Mehmet is the very Turkish name. So Muhammad, let's call it here, make it universal, or everybody knows it. So I am pleased with Muhammad. Please, God, you be pleased with him. This is not intercession that I am agent. I am asking God to make him deserve forgiveness. Now, of course, I'm not asking that because of my prayer, he will be forgiven. It is impossible. It is against justice. God is the most just. So, because I asked, although he deserves, but example, he doesn't deserve it, God will say, okay, Ali, for the sake of you, I don't want to break your heart. I will forgive him. And then there is it, Khalid, the correct. I'm not afraid of using other word. I don't want to repeat it. Asking Khalid doesn't deserve it, but give him a favor. Oh, God is favoring. And then God is not just, but we see in the creation, everything is created in a perfectly, let me say, adjusted. It means made it justly location, their locations. So, for example, asking God, please make this guy, this friend of mine, deserve it. So it means prepare the means for him. If he takes the initiation, if he does something, it is an encouragement when I say, I pray to God to give us just us, not only me, us, guidance. What does it mean? Let's look for the guidance. Let's deserve it. It is worth it. Now, this prayer is prayer, asking. The person who prays is not the agent. Now, we will see that misunderstanding. For example, putting the prophet Jesus in a position, he is the agent in the existence of the miracles happened in his hand. It is not. It is the wrong understanding of intercession, or it is not the intercession really, it is the agent, the creator. So we have to make the distinction. It is there. So nothing is wrong with prayer, but because the nature of prayer is asking, we understood. So let's come to our age. What is going on? Between the creator and other created beings, we may put some agents acting. How? God created the universe. I believe in God. So God, tree, simple example you can take for everything. Trees are created by God. Okay, that's good. They need to be created by God. Excellent. But trees are producing the fruit. This is putting the tree in the position of intercessor. But not with God's permission, God's leave, because God that does not let. We studied this when we studied the section Ikhlas. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. God does not, should not, in our understanding, cannot, and I cannot have a concept of God who is giving a creatorship to any part of his creation, any piece in his creation. I created the universe. Tree, you create your fruit. Which means what? It means giving a divine power to the tree, but this divine power wrongly has this image in the mind of the person who uses it. He is not the creator of the universe. He is the creator of fruit. This is my capacity. This is his capacity. So I am the creator of my work. Look at this. I am the creator of my work. I am not saying that I'm God who created the universe. No. I'm just saying I create my own art, my own work, whatever I do. That is not really saying that God's leave. Why? Because I have the power to act. But by definition, we really deeply studied, as far as I can study, the lam yalid wa lam yulad. If something gives it able to give existence to an atom, and the smallest particle, smallest thing that I can imagine, it means this person or anything is able to give existence to a thing which did not exist before. For example, let's assume that there is a plum tree here. Now, in the winter, we see that plum is not there. Yeah, the fruit plum. Tree is there, plum is there. In the spring, something happens on the branch of the tree. But if the tree is the agent, it means tree is an intercessor between me, my creator, because I'm expecting the creator to create the plum tree, as if plum tree is put in a position that, okay, I will interfere between you and what you want. Let's say you are applying for a job, okay? And you can really do it, but you ask something else, somebody else to put you in the position to convince the employer so that he will employ you. You are not qualified, but through the intercessor, you became qualified. Because of the intercessor gave me the status to be qualified. Although my boss or the employer didn't give me. The intercessor gave me this qualification to me. So this understanding, if we bring this understanding to the plum tree is creating, giving existence to plum. In order to give existence to something did not exist before, it means I am able to give existence to something. Now, in order to be able to give existence to something, that agent must have an infinite power. Why? The fruit plum can only exist within the context of the whole universe's order, which is created within this order. It cannot really get out of the order at all. In its existence, we cannot attribute it as an independent, existent being. We cannot say that. So if I can give existence to a thing, I am expected to be able to control the universe's order. It is very essential whether I will be able to really explain it or not, but with your help, everyone, we will make it, but my English is not enough. I know that. What you want? You want plum, fruit. You need it. So you go there as if you are asking the plum tree, saying that, please create me with your quality that God gave you, this quality. So use this authority and create a plum for me. Intercessor. Did you understand that? Seeing the, this, let's speak in general terms now. This materialist worldview introduced the universe as consisting of cause and effect relationship. Cause, what does it mean, cause? Causing something to exist. So, tree is the cause, plum is the effect. Water is the cause, tree is the effect. So chain goes and goes and goes, cloud is the cause, water or the rain is the effect. So air, the power to elevate, as if air itself has the power, but it is, the system is, for example, system is established in this way. The computer works in this way, not because the parts have the power, it is arranged in this way by the engineer. So that is why it is working, not the parts themselves are acting. So thinking that these are the causes, what comes after? The universe itself is the cause of the effect of its parts. So if you make this mistake from the very beginning, saying that, no, I'm just not saying tree is the creator of the plum. No, sorry. Tree is God, the creator of the universe. It is just the creator. Look, you see that? You see the trees producing it as if it is an independent power, as an agent to give existence to something else. That is why we have to be alarmed, very much alarmed. This term, cause and effect relationship. The order that is made, misunderstood, and called cause, and immediately created next to it, it is effect, but cause is the reason of this raison d'etat. So the reason of existence, cause come. I'll come. So reason of existence for the effect. Effect means we say effect. In fact, let me complete this. It is very important, and then don't forget. But if you say, no, it is very important here at this stage, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay, thank you, keep it. So what this cause and effect should be understood. In fact, it's very simple. Yeah, very simple. It is getting dark. So it is very simple. How? The things are made, created in an order. If they were not created within an order or with an order, within an order is better expression, within an order, everything will be chaotic. When it is chaotic, as far as we are concerned, put it up. No, there is no way to stop it. Make it up. Yeah, high, yeah. So, all right. Now, this cause and effect is very important. We said, if we look at the universe, if there is a cause which is causing the existence of another thing next to it, attached to it, not really attached, next to it, in fact, being the reason of existence of what comes afterwards. Tree and plum is it's a very rough example of it. Tree and plum. So we have to understand that every piece is created by the creator of the universe, because the order is a chain. Order is a chain. But this chain is not connected, but adjusted. Now, materialism means making the rings of the chain as connected like this, right? But in fact, if it is connected, it means if cause didn't exist, effect wouldn't exist. But the existence means, giving existence means, without any part of this universe interceding to the act of creatorship, this is the order of the existence. That's why they are adjusted to each other. It is complicated, because very easy, if we are not very careful and fine-tuned thinking, then we can say, look, if there was no cause, there would be no effect. Yeah, that is the requirement of the order. Requirement of the order. Order says, promise, I will create, for example, if you sow the seed, simple example. If you sow the seed, what seed did you use? Wheat. I will create the wheat plant for you. That is the order promises me. Otherwise, thinking other way around, saying that if there was no seed, there would be no wheat. Therefore, seed is the creator of the wheat. Excuse me, it's order. For example, somebody made for the habit. Every morning, my mother prepares the breakfast at 6 o'clock, right? So you don't see mother, let's say, mother prepares it, puts it on the table and goes and sleeps. Now you go there and have the breakfast ready every day at 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, every day, breakfast is ready. Every day, breakfast is ready. When you reach the age of 18, mother decides, no, I'm not going to make it. And he comes, breakfast is not there. breakfast did not exist because it is 6 o'clock. So breakfast existed because somebody else willed it to be there. So we cannot say that causes, the chain of causal chain, which consists makes the order, is the reason of existence of second thing. It needs a bit reflection on it. So if you really think that whoever established the order is the cause of existence of this universe, whoever designed and made this computer, but it is a human-made thing, don't confuse. Example, we will use the example only for one reason. This reason is, if the engineer of the computer has not arranged the engineer to work in this way, it means the order of functioning of the computer, the parts cannot have any function. Because of the position they located within the order of the existence of the computer, that is why it is there. But some very so-called clever people say, look, there is an, let's say, escape button. Now, when you press the escape button, the page changes. It becomes slow from previous position, right? If there was no escape button, or if you don't press on the escape button, it doesn't change. Therefore, this button is making it. No, it is the order of the computer, but so simple. Why do you confuse it? So we have to understand that anything cannot intercede between the creator of the whole universe. Everything, every part of the universe is direct production of the creatorship of the creator of the universe. It is his act. So if we say no, there are something, it means we are giving the power to causes. But in fact, we should understand that. You can pray, brothers. Yeah, of course, we have to wait until 7 o'clock because it's a recording, correct? Of course, but as quiet as possible. So, inshallah, we will make our Jama'ah. So, say anything. Sorry?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Question?
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Answer the question.
Can I ask?
Yes?
So is it, instead of basically the thought process is that it was always cause, like the idea that we're negating is cause and effect, could we think of it more from a development experience of like everything is developing according to the order of the universe, according to the order of God? But the reason why I ask is because something that I think confuses me or confuses other people potentially as well is that with the understanding that nothing can be created without his leave, there's almost this impression that God is constantly making small decisions about every single thing that's happening in the universe. So is it that's happening when you give the metaphor of the computer? The engineer created the computer and then stepped away from
It's the metaphor. Human-made metaphor.
It's a metaphor, but I'm saying like that's how I understand it. But is it like that, or is it that God is constantly involved in every single little decision within it, or is it a development that it continues to just develop?
Yeah, I was going to this direction. Thank you. If you pave the way. Thank you. I can go comfortably now. The question is out there. So what we will do now here, we have to first establish the first stage is this. In the universe, there is no cause and effect relationship, but as Aya said, there is perfect order, which is consistent. consistent order that we may cause confusion. So that is why we have to be aware that the universe itself, the effect, there is one cause. The cause of the whole universe must be the one who must have absolute qualities, coming to your point. Absolute qualities are unimaginable by us, human beings, because we cannot imagine absolute, we cannot imagine infinite. That is why we call it infinite, because we cannot imagine. So, because we cannot really think that the source of existence is then must be an absolute being, that is why people find it hard to comprehend it. Hard to comprehend it. Oh, so they say, no. Really, God created the universe, put it in a way that it's like a machine. They use this typical example of a clock example. It's a historical example, actually, in philosophy. So God created the universe as a clock, and the clock is working by itself. Or engineer made the computer, and the computer is working by itself now. This is human-made. And according to the order of the universe, because human beings investigate the order, find out that if I follow this path, this is the order of the universe that the Creator promises me. If you follow it, I will keep creating, because that is my way. That is my way. But the last sentences before I go to you as well, I think we have to give a break here. I have to give a break to myself to stop. So the universe in its all parts at every time is what? Effect. There is only one absolute cause. We cannot comprehend absolute, but we understand that the creator of the universe must have absolute qualities, absolute existence beyond imagination and description. Did we get it? That is why people think of God as the engineer, as an engineer, like the engineer of the computer, or they call it clockmaker, watchmaker, not clock. It's very famous in philosophy. Is God a watchmaker, or really, as you said, everything directly belongs to him? But when we use the language, we have to be very careful here. God creates everything directly, controls everything, as if we are imagining a God who's always busy. That is the image of human beings transferred and attached to God. That is the mistake we make, human beings make, and we cannot comprehend that God is the one who cannot be comprehensible. But when you say this, it becomes comprehensible. Now, with one by one, please.
I was going to say, it's once you understand the scale of decision making being made, that's when you become humble.
So,
You realize,
can you repeat the sentence you said?
once you start to understand the number of, like you said, like many, like you said before, one cell, you have a million chemical reactions in one day, or thousands in 1 hour, right? And that's one cell. But once you start to realize, well, there's an entire universe and it's being managed, and there's only no, you put your forehead on the ground, you calm down, you start to realize you're nothing. And that's my understanding.
Yeah.
So, if we start thinking from God's perspective as if God is something imaginable, then no problem can be solved. Shall I stop or not?
No,
It's okay. All right. we cannot solve any problem. From God's perspective, God is doing this. When I say God is creating, you see, look. No, you cannot speak this way. What we can only say and talk about, this is being created. Are we sure it is being created, given existence? Go back to our tree and plum, fruit plum. Is the fruit plum is given existence? Or God is creating the plum? Where is God? It's not doing. As if God is a part of this universe. This is human policy. We are here, we cannot comprehend absolute, but it doesn't mean that we don't know. We can understand that such absolute being must necessarily exist, so that I can understand and explain the existence of this universe at its highest level. It means as much as I can. Would you ask anything else?
Yeah, so I guess like I get the things being created, but like, do human beings have the power to create like the laptop, or is that from God?
So the laptop, or?
Like, is that like I'm able to make this because of God? Kind of thing? Like the engineer?
No, I am following. If I understood you rightly, if I didn't, no. Let's say I am the engineer of the computer. God created me with the ability to make the computer, and I am making it. That is where the really problem starts.
Yeah. And things
Now,
like,
yeah.
so then like, what about like nuclear bombs? Like, why would God make?
Like problem. Like, what do you say, like?
Oh, like a nuclear weapon? Like, why would God give someone the power to create something like that?
That is God. We have to understand. Good question. We have to understand that the creation is established on a stable order. Whoever obeys the order, God promises to give the result according to the order. Now, with something simple exception, but it's not directly. The prophetic miracles are another subject. We can deal with it, not here, because they are extremely exceptional for a purpose. They have another functioning. That's special creation. But order of the universe is settled. That is God's promise. The Qur'an itself also keeps repeating that God never breaks his promise. It means the order, which is called in the language of the Quran, sunnatullah. That is how God creates. If I study the order and find out how to make a chemical weapon, and God says, you can do it. If you want this, you are free. If I don't give you the freedom, although you found out within the order that chemical weapons are possible to be, if you say, ask me to create it, because if you obey the order, God says, I'll create it definitely. No exception. Let's start from a simple example. That is the field. There is a believer here, and next to the another field, an unbeliever owns it, disbeliever owns it. Both of them follows the order, the result will be the same. But one of them said, God, please give me wheat. Or let's say growing wheat. And the other one said, nature, it is naturally happening. Now that's why I did it and I will get it, guaranteed. Nature gives me. Result is created equally. But the the reality in the existence of the order is such that you cannot say whatever the causes you put together cannot have the quality to give existence to the result of wheat or harvest. What the farmers do, obey the order as much as they know. Whoever obeys the order in the best way, according to the, not according to your own whim, according to the order. Whether you accept the one who established the order or you don't accept the one who established the order, order works for everyone because order is created in such a way that we understand it doesn't change. So the creation witnesses this one. Prophetic messages says it doesn't change. Whoever obeys it, obeys it. So you can have a gun, for example, you can defend yourself with it. You can kill an innocent person according to the order. If you don't obey the order, none of them happens. What does it mean? How do we perceive the order? And also, how do we appreciate the human free will? So if some people didn't believe in God and didn't pray God and accepted its natural development, okay, and tilled the land by following the order perfectly as it should be. And if God didn't give the result, what happens? It is obvious that my free will doesn't work. I've obeyed the order and the result has not been created. My free will doesn't work. It means I am whatever God creates, I am not responsible for the result because I have no free will. So not God enabled the person because the person, if you like, by obeying the order, asked God, prayed God to give this result, and God promises, if you follow the order, I will create it. So the confusion is here, cause and effect. All the problem of this materialist philosophy, inventing this concept of cause and effect and injecting the minds of the children at schools, secular schools, everything happens within the cause and effect. Even if you say God created the universe in such a way that cause and effect works, God doesn't work. With also familiarity, that like the example of the child having the breakfast ready, familiar, one day, if there was no breakfast ready, got shocked. Yeah, that is why these are very important points, actually. Why they are important. That is why we have to break our familiarity, our accustomed way of doing this. Everything must be individually questioned. How? Can water has any power of itself? Can sunbeam has any power of itself, from itself? Can soil has any power? Air molecule has any power? They are slaves of, if you like, the order. For example, looking at the building and seeing the bricks, and without bricks, building doesn't happen. But it doesn't mean that the bricks make the building. Now, we have to really understand this. Inshallah. Now, the accustomed way that we develop this, we may misunderstand the result. We may misunderstand the what is going on in the universe. This cause and effect concept must be discarded. Why? If we don't have this understanding that there is nothing in this world has the power to act independently, everything has to follow the order, even human beings. Human beings have free will, don't they? We have free will. You have free will, but have you noticed? We have to be careful about this. Can you use free will as you want? Or do you, let me say this, can you use your free will as you want? Whatever you want. What do you have to do? Come on, let's stop.
You have to use it with them.
Obeying the order. If you don't obey the order, your free will cannot create anything. Got it?
Yeah.
Key point. The key point. So it means you are not the cause of your actions. You are choosing. Cause is the creator of the order and the universe and the result. We get gradually old. What does it mean? It is telling me, my creator is reminding me, look, you are not the creator of your tomorrow. Your body is not the source of existence of your tomorrow. Why? You cannot stop it. You have no free will there. It is in me. This perfect creation, everything, molecules die. Die means not disappear from existence. No, loses their existence by itself. Well, God changes in another form. For example, when I die, it doesn't mean that I disappear from existence, but when I die, my existence is changed into another form. I become a compost in the earth, my body. My spirit transferred to it is where it came from. Now, so I didn't disappear. Death is not non-existence. So gradually, galaxies die, new children are born. It means God is continuously changing the existence, showing that nothing can stop its existence as they want. It means everything is directly under my control. This is a very important point to me. So we have to understand that the universe order is continuously changing. You are a different person from yesterday. You cannot sustain your life. That is why at the beginning of this verse it says, nothing can sustain itself, but only him. Because of him. We studied this. I don't know whether you were here or not. This one. Sorry, go back. This one. God is the one self-subsisting, by whom all subsists. So if my existence continues in this way, it is telling me that this way of creation telling me that you cannot sustain yourself. Can you stop? The time is another concept that we have to discuss. This our perception of the functioning of the universe, nothing different. That is what we perceive, how the things are going. We say year or centuries, ages, centuries, and years or months and days and hours and seconds. This is our perception of the existence. if you like. That is how the existence is taking place. But every moment, the Quran says God is every moment. كل يوم هو في شأن. That is the verse, is very important. Every moment he is creating a new creation. Every moment. Absolute. That is why we cannot imagine. We cannot imagine. We cannot imagine. We surrender. That's it. That must be the absolute one. The creator of the universe. Every single thing must be given existence by him. Not that, I'm not using very carefully. He is giving existence. I don't see him, but I am seeing that they are giving existence. So the one who gave existence is the establisher of the order of the universe. So God, the establisher of the order of the universe, as the Quran describes, I can only say he, the one who created it, the one who gave existence to it. I can only say this, nothing more. That is why to imagine God is impossible. So let's say, I think we have to stop. Who is there that could intercede with him unless it be by his leave? What does it mean? Unless it is located by me within the order. Otherwise, it doesn't function. That is the 21st century, let's say, that we have to understand this verse, let alone this prophet's intercession is an old story. Forget about it. But this is how I should understand the relationship between the universe and its creator, source of existence. The source of existence, he is the one, the owner of the universe. Now, as far as I can see, I am an example. Again, I'm going to use this example, human example. So it is just an example, a piece of the computer, but conscious, questioning piece of the computer. I am saying, who put me here? Thinking, a piece is conscious, thinking. Who put me here? Oh, next to one, the air, atmosphere, water, the things. Who arranged that in this way? And go, everything, if it's like me, I cannot create anything. It doesn't create independently, but we are put in an order. Oh, who is this one who put us in an order? And there must be an engineer, but I cannot imagine. Because a part of the computer, even if it is conscious, cannot imagine a being who arranged it, organized it, designed it, made it, who has another level of existence, not a part of the computer. So, but the piece of the computer cannot think beyond the capacity of the computer. But engineer, he can understand there must be something who gave us existence. Something. Can you imagine? No, because I can imagine only within the limitations of the computer. Only. So he's not a part of the computer because every part is dependent on its order, on his order. Or he say, whatever you say, doesn't matter. Use a pronoun, he, or something else, she, it, whatever. But since it is a conscious being, conscience, everything is consciously arranged, so he must be, the creator must be conscious one. The conscious one is used in English, he, in Arabic, huwa. So simple. So this is the verse, very important to understand what message it gives. This is the heart of Ayatul Kursi. Ayatul Kursi is the heart of the Quranic message. Can you imagine? If you understand this, Ayatul Kursi means
This is the verse.
so this verse, but This is only one part of it, because Ayatul Kursi has 10 parts. It helps us understand the previous. Like we studied Ikhlas, this section briefly describes absoluteness of the Creator, which you may hear from the Muslims, Tawheed. That is what absoluteness. But don't say oneness of. I mean, that is no other way of explaining it. Oneness means a number. A number belongs to the nature of the universe itself. We are numbers, but our source is not one of numbers. Now, somehow you can understand this. It's not a number. That is why one God doesn't do justice to describe God. Absolute God is the best word I could find. In Arabic, mutlaq, by the way, those people who are familiar with mutlaq. Mutlaq means you cannot put any number on it. You cannot put any limit on it. So, inshallah, we should stop here. Ready? Anything more comment? And no, we will, inshallah, continue another, this didn't finish, but we will go other verses, how the other verses, Quran seems to be very contradictory in this sense. How? There are two types of verses we can find in the Quran. Three. Now, mentions Shafa. One of them says, some of them says, no one can ever make any Shafa. The other one says, I will just assign some people to make Shafa. And the middle one says, as we are studying here, there is no intercession or interceder, but with my permission. Leave. Brother Khalid, we are about to finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we will go all these verses. Why in this verse it says so? Another seems to be confusing, but there are all make sense in their own context. Inshallah, we will study it because it may not directly relate to ourselves. If we understand this verse, it is in the middle. We can understand, in this case, this may be described in this way, or in another case, it may be described in another way, according to the context of the subject and the audience of this subject matter of the verses. Otherwise, it is an historical debate went on in Muslim scholarship, heavily debated this subject, but Alhamdulillah, I am convinced what we have came out. Alhamdulillah, that is also God's grace. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Next Tuesday, 6 o'clock, inshallah, we will continue. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.